guys a little story here, and this happened a few years ago, probably about 2 years ago at this point. Whenever I had consciously decided that I wanted to try dating again, and obviously I wasn't doing online dating, I was just approaching and trying to find a woman out in the wild, so to speak. And also being in my 30s, that's kind of difficult. So I kind of stuck to places that you would normally just casually run into women. A lot of attractive men are very successful with online dating. And even though I did get a few dates, and I probably went on 3 dates, 2 were successful, one of them was not so much. It seems like the women were always asking the same questions. They always wanted the same type of information, and they wanted to get down to what you could provide for them and what you could bring to their life. And they never wanted to step foot into a conversation where we were talking about the value that a woman brings into a man's life. So there was little evidence to me that meeting women out in the wild, which I met 2 at a coffee shop near me, in both of those instances, none of those were, in my opinion, relationship material. And also talking with them, it did kind of seem to me, which I didn't ask any of them if they did online dating, but I'm going to assume that they did because 99% of women nowadays are on Tinder or on some kind of online dating website.
I don't like finding out that a guy doesn't like me anymore, that he's over me. What is that supposed to mean? What do you mean you're over me, that you've moved on? That's not how this works. I was go my life in the back of my mind, that's not how this works. I was supposed to go my whole life knowing in the back of my mind that you still like me. I was supposed to think that every time I saw you, your heart did a little pitter patter. Now you've moved on? What does that mean? That's not possible. I don't understand, because you're supposed to still like me, because now that you don't like me, I feel like I need to like you. You liked me, I didn't like you. Now you don't like me, now I feel like I need to like you. Now I feel like, wait, do I like him? No, that's not how we play this game. You can't just move on. You're supposed to be stuck on me.
Stop it. Get some help.
And this is a classic example of someone being dumped by a guy that was way out of her league, obviously, and now she's coping with it in any sort of way she can. This is kind of a classic cope. It's called being alpha widowed, where she met this dude on a dating app. And you gotta understand, even a woman that does TikToks like this, where she's wearing little makeup, where her hair's a mess, they don't put these pictures on their dating websites. I can only assume these dating website pictures are filtered and are their best shots, and they are putting their best self forward. So all these social media videos, some of these women use filters and this and that, but a majority of these women put their best face forward when it comes to dating apps. So she was able to hook up with this alpha dude that was 6'5", 6 figures. He hit all of the marks, and he was spending time with her because he was probably bored. Sometimes these 10 out of 10 dudes, they spend time with some of these fours just for fun, just because they're bored, because they need to fill their nights of the week in a little bit, and they know that these women will come over, they will stop what they're doing, they will always be available, they will ride by, and it'll be very easy for them to bring him back to his bedroom and just do whatever he needs to do. And then afterwards, he rolls back over and picks up his phone and thumbs through the other dating potentials and lines another one up. This is the common thing. And then when he finds a better pick, he does a trade, he swaps them out, and then he has to make the unfortunate text, I don't think I like you anymore, and I think it's time we part ways text, which these women do not like getting. They hate getting these texts because they're trying to build their roster up as well, so they want all these top tier dudes. And it's just not working out for him. She has been sucked into the sprinkle algorithm, and unfortunately, what that woman spews does not translate very well for women unless they are certain types of women, and it's like the trifecta. You can be good looking, or if you're not that good looking, you can be young, or if you're not that young or good looking, you can have a great personality, or 2 of those 3. But you can't be all 3. If you're all 3, you're done. You're toast. That is what gets these men's attention. You know what I'm saying? So either you can be kind of young, unattractive, but with a good personality. Sure, these guys will go for you. They'll find you quirky, pump and dump, move on, easy. Or you can be good looking, good personality, but maybe not that young. They keep these women on the back burner as well. Maybe you're in your 30s, maybe your late 30s, 40s. As long as you're fun and you're good looking, they have no problem. If you there's a lot of good looking older women out there. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. And these dudes do keep these women on the back burner. That is not an issue. And then of course, it's always the cream of the crop, which is the ideal, what these men are looking for, which is young, beautiful, gorgeous women. They got to be young. And it really doesn't matter if they have a personality or not. These women's personalities aren't going to develop until all the trauma starts developing anyways, and that trauma starts hitting, that personality starts to develop. And by the time that happens, they're well past the age of 27, and there's just too much drama for any normal man to deal with. So that is what these men are looking for. And she is well on her way to having all of those issues as well. And then this is the beginning stages are the rant videos of the one dude she couldn't keep, getting rid of her because he doesn't like her.
Somebody gotta say it, and I'd be the bitch to say it. A lot of you women brag about being married, but sweetheart, you only married because you were conveniently around when the man was ready to get married. That man don't even like you. That's why he cheating. You know what I mean? He come home every day. He do, but he like what comes with you. He likes the security. Maybe the fact that you buried his children, if you buried his children. He liked the fact that you're gonna answer to him. He liked the fact that he can pretty much pinpoint where you are. He liked the fact that you're going to jump up and cater to him and probably cook for him and clean and explain situations. He liked the fact that he can control your mind. He liked the fact that if he died today, it wouldn't be alone. He liked the fact that the in-house coochie. But in fact, he don't like yo ass. He like that other girl, but don't shoot the messenger.
Why is everyone so f***ing stupid? Why aren't more people intelligent like me?
Why is it always the women that look like the Ice Age rodent character that's always making these comments that really do not make any sense?
You're in my house, fatso, and you didn't ask permission. So you and your friends can leave now, or they can carry your fat ass out in a bucket.
This woman has been traumatized by lots of strange men in her life, possibly even married and divorced a few. I don't know her story, and honestly, I really don't care. But women like this do spew this type of hate towards other women that may or may not be in a healthy marriage, but it reflects a little bit more on her than it does on any of the men she's ever been involved with, because she is insanely bitter toward now every man, I guess. Bundles them all up in a big ball and say, oh, all men are like that. I've never made generalized statements against women. I will tell you what a majority of women think and how they feel about things, but as far as just saying every man is a cheater and every man doesn't like his wife or whatever the situation is, I just think that is just a big lie. There's out there a lot of good men that have gotten married. I've called these men that marry modern women simps, but of course there are a lot of old-fashioned women out there that are married to good men, and I think those marriages are healthy, and there's really nothing you can say about those types of marriages. I think this has more to say about how this woman has dealt and made decisions in her own life, and now she is looking around, realizing she's alone, and now she wants to make sure all her other girlies are alone too. And I don't blame her. She needs to hang around with an ugly one to get the attention more on her. That's what these women like to do. The more ugly women a woman can get around her, the more confident she feels. I don't know if you know that, guys, but she wants to be the pretty one in the friend group, and when it's just her walking around alone, it doesn't work out for her, unfortunately.
If the man you're talking to or dating doesn't do these things, you need to get rid of him. If the guy you're talking to, especially for a few months, or the guy you're dating doesn't buy you flowers for no reason, get rid of him. But to that, if the guy you're talking to or dating only buys you flowers when he does something wrong or he makes you upset, get rid of him. If he's hesitant or standoffish about bringing you around his friends or family, he's gotta go. And to that, if he doesn't get along with your friends or family, he's definitely gotta go. If he's not opening the door and holding it open for you or anyone else walking in after him, goodbye. If he is not defending you and your name in front of anyone and everyone, friends, family, President of the United States, I don't care, sayonara. If he's not going out of his way to make you feel special or appreciated, bye. If he can't be a grown man and apologize or admit to his mistakes when he's done something wrong, young. You've been with him for too long, and we should not even be having this discussion right now. I feel like this would just be common sense when it comes to respect and a relationship. If the man you're dating or the guy you're talking to cannot and does not unfriend any woman that makes you feel uncomfortable for a reason, you have to have a good reason, obviously, but if you have a good reason and he will not unfriend her, 1, it's a big red flag. 2, sayonara.
You tell the world what happened to you. What happened to you? I don't know. You need to tell them.
Okay, a couple of points I want to hit on in this clip here. The whole flowers thing, I think, is just ignorant. You think you're fine if you want to get your woman flowers for your birthday. Mom deserves flowers on her birthday. That is perfectly fine. I am perfectly okay with flowers. I do have an issue with these sort of commercialized, forced Valentine's Day stuff. I think it's way overplayed, and now you can look at videos during Valentine's Day. I did a Valentine's Day video a few months back if you want to check that one out. But basically, even when you get them flowers and candies and this and that, it's still not enough. They're still wanting more. They're still looking at her co-workers full of flowers, and they're jealous because she had one rose and you gave your girl. And it's just like it's this big thing that you just don't want to get wrapped up in, and it's a game you're never going to win either way. So I would say just flat out, buy flowers for her, and that's it. If you want to do something for Valentine's Day, maybe, you can get but all these extravagant Valentine's Day flowers and stuff and gifts, it's nothing but a trap. The second point is the getting flowers after you've done something wrong or made a mistake. Yeah, that never do anything like that. Well, that's just a waste of time. It's a waste of effort. Honestly, if you did something in a relationship, there's a reason why you did it. So there shouldn't be a reason why you're apologizing or admitting wrongdoing. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm not saying that there isn't a time and a place to apologize, but if you're only apologizing to your woman because she's mad at you, then you're apologizing for the wrong reason. There is, in any relationship, I would say any man could never apologize and be perfectly fine because she's going to act that way whether you end up apologizing or not. The apology does absolutely nothing. And honestly, whatever you did couldn't have been that bad. Okay. If you thought it would be for the relationship, if you thought it was a boundary and you wanted to kind of put your foot down and you're upset and you're apologizing for that, that is a really big red flag to me. At least I would definitely check your relationship and try to figure out what's going on, because that could potentially be a whole meeting, friends and family thing. I guess, that could be another issue. A lot of times women are just stuck in the male version of the friends, which I call the zone. And they want to be in that relationship status, but these dudes are not going to put them there. And that next step is friends and families. So obviously they're not going to bring them around their friends and families. That's just common sense for any man. The next point is the thing about apologies. Now, again, if you're apologizing to your woman because she's upset and you're not necessarily apologizing for something you did, then you are apologizing for the wrong reason and you're wasting your time. Okay, a lot of times men will apologize because their woman is mad, with no real reason why they're apologizing. They just don't want to lose access. And that can be a real issue because it sets a precedent. It sets a saying that she can be upset for any reason and you will still sort of take the blame for whatever that reason is. Regardless of if you need to or not, you're only doing it because it's upsetting her and she knows she can get that apology out of you to make her feel better. It is purely an ego move on the woman's part. I would tread very carefully with women that do this because they are manipulating you. This is probably one of the biggest manipulation tactics out there right now. And as you've seen in all of these videos, because a majority of women are like this, all three of these videos, if these women can't manipulate you in some way, then you are useless to them. Then even whenever they can't manipulate the man they're with, the next step is they're going online and they're trying to manipulate the women online, as we've seen with the Ice Age rodent woman. It happens every time. So call them red flags, call them whatever you will, but women that do any of these things are going to be probably the biggest headache in your entire life. Stay away from these women. Stay away from modern women altogether if you can, and you absolutely recommend staying away from a lot of the modern women now, especially any of these on social media when you come across them. I would suggest just possibly finding a traditional woman elsewhere if you are looking to do that. But anything else, I just say safe. Take care of yourself, take care of your assets, take care of your time, take care of your health, and I'll catch you guys later. Rat Boy out.